Namaste and welcome to React Bits. In this episode, we will continue on from our previous tutorial of Firebase Auth. The link is provided here or in the description below. In this episode, we'll add few more functionalities to our Firebase Auth application. So, we will learn to save user records in the Firestore database. We'll also learn to manage role of the user using Firestore database and display different UI based on the user role. And finally, we'll also save the details of the device and app in the user's record so that we can get device. Device is important when we are sending push notifications or other information, and package version is important if we want to notify users to update their app or so on. And we can even classify the users based on their device and package info. So let us get started. First, let us add the required dependencies in our pubspec.yaml file. So, cloud Firestore 0.14.0 plus 2. Then we have device info to get the details of the user's device. If you don't know about device info plugin and how to use it, please check out my tutorial regarding device info plugin. So it is at 0.4.2 plus 8. The link is provided in the description below or it appears here in the card. Finally, package info, and this is at package info at 0.4.3 version. Okay, now we have the dependencies. We can run Flutter pub-get or get packages, or sometimes it should run automatically when you save the pubspec.yaml file. Once you get the dependencies, now if you are already running your project, you need to run it again. But before doing that, Firebase, when you add Cloud Firestore in Android, we need to enable Multitext. So in order to enable Multitext, go inside build.gradle file in Android app, not the Android folder but Android app folder, and here in the default config add Multitext enabled true, and in the dependencies we need to add the dependency for Multitext. So implementation androidx.multitext multitext 2.0.1. Now after adding this, we are ready to run our project. So let us run our project. So this is where we last left off. We have a login page and we can log in with email and password, or we can log in with Google. So firstly, let us add signup functionality. In order to do that, we will create a sign up page, and then in login page we'll add a link to sign up page, and from sign up page we will create the account. So first let us add the sign up page. Let me do this. UI here signup.dart, and what we can do is we can simply copy login.dart file and paste it here, and F2 to rename, make it sign up page, and in sign up let us add confirm password controller as well. Confirm password, and let us initialize confirm password. Confirm password text. Okay, now we have confirm password controller. We can duplicate the password text field. Simply duplicate this and confirm password make this text sign up, and let us check confirm password as well. So if confirm password controller dot is controller dot text dot is empty, or confirm password controller dot text is not equal to password controller dot text, then confirm password does not match, return. So ideally in this place, what we do is we usually show a snack bar or toast to the user that their confirm password does not match, but here we are focusing on the functionalities, so we can just simply print it in the console. And finally, in place of sign in with email, we need sign up. So in order to create sign up function, we can simply copy this sign in with email function. Let us duplicate this and sign up with email. I'll make this, and here in place of sign in with email and password in auth, we call create with email and password. So we can simply create new user account. So here we can call sign up with email and password. And finally, in our login.dart file, we can add a raised button that will link us to the sign up page. So simply duplicate the login button, and let's make this create account, and in on pressed we simply navigate. So in order to navigate, navigator.push material page route builder, here sign up page, and finally in sign up page what we need to do is, if login sign up is successful, let's print sign up successful, and then navigator.pop to get back to our home page. So once we do this, now if I tap create account and try to create an account, let's say test3@testme.com, password, sign up, I should successfully sign up, and I'm taken to the home page. So in the next step, we'll add the device details and package details in the user record in the Firestore database. In order to save the user record in the Firestore database, we need to set up the Firestore if you have not already. So in the same project that you were using for Firebase Auth in Google Firebase console, you need to set up the Firestore database. And if you have not created database, it will show something similar to this, where you are given option to create the database and you need to choose some locations. So you can keep all things default for now. Once you create Firestore database, you'll see this UI. Now we are ready to add documents in our database. And one thing to remember is, if you start the database in the locked mode, you'll not be able to read or write in the database. So check the rules, and in the rules, if you have allow read write, then that's fine. If you have something else, just change this to allow read write in order to test. Later on, we need to set up proper security rules to make it secure. We will create a function that will add the user record in the Firestore database. Every time the user logs in, it will update the data. So in order to do that, we will create inside auth helper, let us create another function, another class called user helper. And in this, we will first instantiate the Firestore. So Firebase Firestore _db equals instance of Firebase Firestore. Let's make it static. Next, we'll create a save user function. So static save user, and in here we'll pass the Firebase Auth user. Once we have the user, we can save the user record in the Firestore database. So inside save user, we'll also use package info to get the information about the app package. If you do not know how to use package info plugin, please check out my package info plugin tutorial. So package info, from platform. Now build number equals to package info dot build number, which is string. We can simply parse it as integer int dot parse build number. Now we'll create the user record. Name, so Firebase user dot display name. Email, user dot email. Last login time will be user dot metadata dot last sign in time. This will be date and time. We'll store it as milliseconds. Then created at, again metadata dot creation time as milliseconds. Then we'll save role. So this is how we'll manage the role. Here we'll save role as user, and then build number. Let's keep the build number. Alright, so we have the user data. Now we need to check if the user already exists. So final user ref equals db.collection users collection dot doc. So we'll use the same ID that is returned by Firebase Auth. That way it will be easier for us to know the logged in user from database. So this is our user ref, and we'll check if it already exists. If await user ref dot get dot exist. If it exists, then if it already exists, we only need to update. So what we do is await underscore db dot underscore user ref dot update, and here we'll only pass last login and then build number. We update the build number as well. This is because user might have updated the app, so that way we need to update the build number, latest build number in the database always. Otherwise, if it does not exist, await set, and this will be user data. Now that we have saved the user record, we also need to save the device details. So save device for the user, and we'll create this function. And in here we'll use the device info plugin. If you do not know how to use device info plugin, please check out my other tutorial. So device info plugin, will create an instance. Then we need a unique ID for each device. It is provided by the device info plugin, and we'll create a device data for each device, and here we'll check if platform.is Android. We'll only check two cases for now. If is iOS, okay, and if it is Android, then we'll get device ID equals, sorry, we need to instantiate device info. Device info equals device plugin dot Android info if it is Android. So device ID will be device info dot Android ID, and then device data will save OS version will be, for Android it will be device version dot stkint dot toString, that is OS version. Platform we can simply say Android. Then module we can use device info dot module, then device will be device info dot device. So we have the device data for the Android. Let us just duplicate this, and for iOS we need to use, okay, we don't need, we need to make this async, and this will be iOS info, and here it will give identifier for vendor, that is the device ID. Then here system version, platform will be simply iOS, we can simply code it model, and in device we'll use name. So we have the model, device name, device, so we have a device data. Finally we'll create a device record in the system. Also we'll use date time, now dot milliseconds since epoch, and now we'll save the device inside the sub collection. So inside users collection we'll create a sub collection for each user that will hold multiple devices, because a single user can have multiple devices. So final device ref is equal to db.collection users, then dot uid, then again collection devices devices, then doc will be device ID. So we'll use the device ID as unique reference, so that each time we add a device, we know we can update the existing device if it already exists. So again we'll check if it already exists. If await get dot exists, if it already exists, else if it does not exist. So if it already exists, what we can do is device ref dot update, and in data updated at will be now milliseconds, and uninstalled false. Okay, and else, in else case, device ref set, and this data will be again created at now ms, then updated at now ms, then uninstalled false id device id. Okay, and device info will be the device data we created above. Okay, we have successfully created the device record like this. So few things to note here. I am keeping this uninstalled field. This is because whenever user logs in from a new device, the uninstalled will be false, and we can use some services that can track uninstall. Like if we are using Firebase Analytics, together with Firebase function, we can use the analytics trigger for Android to whenever the package is uninstalled, so that we can create this true and we can know on which device the user has uninstalled. We can also check the last updated time. If it's been long since they have used this device, they might have uninstalled from this device as well, which might not be true, but sometimes it can be. So we are using this kind of data. With this data, we can create a user metrics for our users who are using our apps actively. Like when we have a last login time, we can easily see which users were active recently, those kind of information, and which user is using the latest version of app, which user is using the old version of app. And by saving the role in the user data, we can use this role later. We'll show you how. Using this role, we can show different UI to the user. For example, we'll see how admin can view the list of users and how user can only see the home page. Okay, now that we have created the function to save the user record, we need to call this. And where do we call this? It is called every time the login auth state changes. And we are using the auth state changes right here. Alright, so in this, whenever the user record, we get the user record from Firebase Auth, we would like to call the save user so that we can save the latest data to the user record in the Firestore database. So let us call that function here. So here we'll call user helper dot save user. Here we'll pass snapshot dot data, that is our user. Once we do this, now if I run, okay, now that our project is running, as we had previously signed in, it's already signed in. And if we now check the Firestore, we can see that our user record is created. Let me refresh this. We can see that there is users collection and there is a new user. And here we have the build number, created at, email, last login time, name of the user, which is empty because we are logged in using email and password based account, and the role is user. Then we have devices. Inside device, we have a device record for the current device, which is Android emulator. So we have all the information that we added. Now let's try by logging out and logging into another user. So log out, then log in with log in with Google. Once I do this, and if I go back to users, now I have another record. So this should be my new email that I just logged in. Again, the device should have the device details. Now that we have the user record, we will make this one of the user, we can make it admin. So just for testing, I'll make this Google Auth user admin and this user. So we have two roles now, admin and user. Okay, so based on the role, we need to check the role, and based on the role, we need to display different UI. So for that, let us first create admin page where we'll just show the list of user. So here I'll create new admin home dot. Let me just copy from home dot here, F2 to rename admin home page. Let's make this admin, and let's remove this home page. Here instead we'll list the user, and for that we'll simply use stream builder. Firestore instance dot collection users dot snapshots, initial data null, and in here we'll check if has data and data is not equal to null, docs equals So if you do not know how to get data from Firestore with Stream Builder or Future Builder, check out my previous tutorials on Firebase Firestore, CRUD operations, and many other tutorials that I have regarding Firebase Firestore. Okay, so once we have the list of docs, what we can do is we can use list view builder to display the list of users. Item count will be docs.length, and then item builder here will create docs index.data. This should be the output of, if we add this now, so this should be data.docs and docs.length, then user is data. Now we'll simply return list title text user name, and if it does not exist, we'll use user email, right? So here we are simply displaying the list of users in the admin home page. So we have scroll view already here, so let me make this true. Okay, so now I have a admin home page. What we need to do is, once the user logs in, we need to check whether the user is admin or user and display the page accordingly. So here again we'll use the stream builder. So in ideal case, we'll not be using stream builder every time we need a user record or we need a record of the user from database to check the role. What we will have is, instead of this, we'll be using some kind of state management like Flutter block or getX or provider, riverpod or anything, where we'll keep the user records and user record from Firestore, user record from Firebase Auth. That way we can easily get the details from the state and display the page accordingly. But for the simplicity and for understanding, I'll simply be using stream builder again here. Here we'll use again stream builder. Okay, and again the stream will be firestore.instance.collection user.doc will be snapshot.data.uid.snapshots. Okay, initial data will be null, and in here again we'll do the same checks. So if has data and data is not equal to null, else. So in else case, we don't even need the else here. If it does not have data, we'll simply return okay. Now we don't need this home page here. So when we have the user record from Firestore database, user equals to snapshot.data. This is because this will be of type document is snapshot. I have a spelling error here, so snapshot.data.uid. Okay, and user snapshot.data. So we have the user record. We'll simply check if user role. So if the role of user is admin, we will admin home page, otherwise we'll return home page. We need to return this. So let me change this. So this will be auth state changes. It will give us the user So we'll have a user.uid, so instance document. So this should be users. I misspelled the collection name here. I think I did the same in the admin home. Sorry, it's users. Okay, so let me hot restart. I forgot to return here as well. Return. See, we have the list of user. So user.name or user.email. So it should have shown the email. I'm not sure why name is showing as empty. Let me check for test. Okay, so name is empty string, so it's showing. If I just simply delete this or make it null, it will show the email instead. Okay. Okay, now we have an admin home. If I log out and log in with another user account, test3@testme.com, and log in, I'll instead see the home page. So this is how we can manage the user role and show the different UI based on the role of the user. So user role will never be able to access the admin. So if I change this test user to admin, as we are using stream builder, it should reload to admin home page like this. And if I change this to user again, this user should go back to home page. So using Firebase Firestore, this is how we can keep the records of user. We can keep their device records, so that later on, if you want to use Firebase messaging, you can also save the device token along with device, so that you can send the push notification to each device. And you can use role. You can manage role in the Firestore database and display different UI, different output based on the user role, or prevent user based on the user role. So this is how we can use Firebase Auth and Cloud Firestore together to manage the user data, or to authenticate our users and then manage the user data, roles and everything, so that we can allow them to perform various other actions in our application. Thank you everyone for watching this tutorial. See you again in the next video. Hope you like this video. Please show support by liking, sharing and subscribing my videos, so that I can keep making more. Thank you.